Bitcoin smashes 120k, total crypto market cap is approaching 4 trillion. What does all of this mean for altcoins and airdrops? Let's go. Starting with Bitcoin, on the weekly, it's up 12%. XRP has the highest, most explosive move with 30%, and ETH, Dogecoin, follow at a 20% increase. Solana and BNB are lagging a little bit behind, with Tron also just making a 5% increase out of the top 10 tokens. As for Bitcoin dominance, it is standing currently, as of making this video, at 64.63%, with a slow decline ever since late June. Does this mean altcoin season is finally upon us? We will know in the next couple of days and weeks. Another metric that we don't really talk about too much, but it's also quite important, is USDT dominance, and this one has logically been on a steep decline over the last couple of days and weeks as well, with a super sharp decline in the last week when Bitcoin started breaking above 110k and consolidating for a few days before making this explosive upwards movement. As for stablecoins, USDT has had 127 billion in 24-hour volume, with USDC at only 13.5. Does this mean that there's more institutional interest in crypto at the moment than DeFi? Absolutely. DeFi TVL is currently only up about 50% since early April lows, so we still have a lot of time to position into the right protocols and potentially the right tokens. So what could those be? As always, nothing is financial advice here, and you need to do your own research, but let's take a super quick comparison between what's been happening with Sui against what's been happening in Solana over the last few years. So Sui launched, and it was a very disappointing airdrop for most people because there was no airdrop, only a pre-sale of the tokens, and it's been ranging for almost more than a year until finally starting to grow last year. Of course, we've known that there's been an exploit in May 22nd, and it's tanked significantly from about $4 where it's almost back to now. And now it is attempting to break the previous resistance of early May. What happened with Solana? 2022, it was also ranging for a while until absolute disaster of FTX happened, where it dropped from $30 all the way to under $10. The lowest it was is about $8. So what happened with CETAs? Same thing. We had a huge sell-off during late May when there was an exploit, and now slow recovery. Now, does this mean it's going to repeat what Solana did after the FTX thing? God knows, but of course, it is something to keep in mind. If you're bullish on Sui, now has been a very, very good proof that even if hack happens, the community is strong and it's probably going to make a comeback. Now, let's take a look at all the altcoins that have outperformed ETH on the weekly with an airdrop angle. Starting with Pudgy Penguins, which have done 89% of a weekly move, followed by Story Protocol, 43% on the weekly, Sui, 35%, Ethena, 33%, Say, doing a 30%, whereas we have Stacks, followed by 26%. Other tokens include, of course, Hyperliquid, which is approaching $50 with a 22% weekly move. Honorable mention goes to Celestia, which is trying to break $2, and it is still over 90% down from all-time highs of $20. So why did Pengu explode, and what can we expect to be next? Well, first of all, I thought it would be some kind of NFT mania rising up all over again. However, looking at the volumes, it doesn't seem to be anywhere near the previous bull market cycle tops. So we're working with 5 million in 24-hour volume on the NFT trades. So this is absolutely nothing for the first collection. So it would seem that it was in fact the ETF speculations and confirmations for the Pengu token itself. So is Pengu the Bored Ape Yacht Club of this cycle? We will see. For now, we can see that there's a huge amount of social media presence covering all things Pengu, with everyone from Coinbase to even Van Eck and many, many other platforms simply acknowledging this to be the premier NFT community for this cycle. However, we will see how long the hype lasts and if all of these updates regarding Coinbase, Abstract, and many, many other ecosystems mentioning Pengu is actually going to sustain. One very important thing to note is that oftentimes Binance listings are something related to Binance. In this case, they've changed their profile picture to a picture of a pengu. It is very often considered by traders as a top signal, so we could potentially expect some kind of a small short-term cooldown period before further upside. So, is there any other NFT community that could be similarly hardcore but still a little bit undervalued? Let's take a look at top 10 by market cap. Infinix patrons and Mad Lads, aka Backpack Exchange, don't have a token just yet. We have Bored Ape Yacht Club, which ApeCoin is doing absolutely abysmal, and at just under $500 million in market cap, the risk to reward ratio doesn't seem that great. Then we also have, of course, Azuki, which are one of the most hardcore, one of the most committed communities out there, and their anime coin seems to be providing a lot better risk to reward ratio, even though the chart looks dead as well. The market cap of 100 million seems to be a lot more enticing prospect than 500 million what we have on ApeCoin.
Hey guys, we partner with What Exchange, one of the greatest decentralized exchange right now in the market. I love that you can see everything on your screen at once. You can connect to What Exchange from different mainnets, and you can see here the list of hundreds of tokens. They are continuously adding more tokens each week. And What Exchange has an active airdrop. They are going to distribute 30% of the total supply, guys, into this airdrop. So that is why I am super bullish trading here too. You can see here the point section that they added recently, so you can check everything about your progress on this airdrop. And in trading, you can see how many order tokens you earn because they have this payback system from the fees that you pay. Part of that goes back to you on order tokens. So check the link on the description to join to What Exchange, trade on the platform, participate on the airdrop of the 30% of the supply, and also get some order tokens back. All the links are in the description.
Regardless of your investment or trading strategies, moments like these, it is absolutely crucial to be locked in fully. And the best way to value your time is to surround yourself with experts in this field who do both airdrops and DeFi accordingly, can help you on your trading strategies as well. But most importantly, stay up to date with everything important happening in crypto in one simple place. One such place is our Discord, and if you wish to join and participate, all you have to do is go to the official website. All the links are always in the first link of the description of every video, and choose your monthly or yearly plans. Also, the NFT collection doing 3 to 10% a month is very well on track to reduce almost all impermanent loss in the next couple of weeks and months, so we will be delighted to make sure that all of our users are back to track. As for all of our Hyperliquid bulls, you'll be happy to see the token approaching $50 and a market cap of just over 16 billion. And of course, we're going to be doing a deep dive on this one for all things Hyperliquid on yield farming session. However, there is a project that you could consider now. It is HLPO, yielding you 10% APR on stablecoins, which you can then further use in DeFi. They have a points program, and at the moment just over 10 million in total value locked, so it is definitely more on the riskier side of things, but perhaps risk to reward ratio is worth it. Now finally we have Hyperlane, which has had the Upbit listing happen on July 10th, which has skyrocketed the price, and it has been since then declining. Of course, this is a slightly more risk-on project as well at just 75 million in market cap, but if you believe that this has some upside and you don't want to just go all the way shorting to what the levels was before at about 10 cents, then there is still a small bull case being printed out here if this level holds. In summary, Bitcoin just did something it couldn't do in the last two bull cycles. It broke an 8-year resistance line. Does this mean that it's going to go to Valhalla and send figures immediately? Obviously not. But most importantly, the much more important metric is that their weekly MACD has just flipped bearish on the weekly candle. Does this signal an alt season? We will see. I would prefer to have a couple more confirmations about this, but it is definitely something that if you're not positioned in correct alts right now, you might be really regretting your decision next couple of months. And a little bit of humor for the end. Sonic Fiesta claims start on July 15th. So if you're planning to offload a little bit as soon as possible, make sure to be either in places where you can get information in real time or just have notifications on their X and Discord accounts. And that is a wrap for all the topics for today. If you like the content, make sure to like and subscribe with bell notifications on. Any questions, comments, I'm waiting for you in the Discord and in the comment section. And as always, thanks for watching. Until next time, have an amazing day.